Greetings, Glitter Gang, and happy Thursday. Welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and this is my show where I craft live, and what we are working on tonight is the Christmas in July album. So this afternoon, we completely finished the first file folder, so that's done. So what we're working on now is the second file folder. So the second file folder has been decorated on the flap, and we've gotten the smallest of the 3 inserts done. So we're going to quickly work on the first 2 inserts this evening. And that's these 2. And we're going to work on those. I know my sidekick is missing. Last time I knew where my sidekick was, he was headed outside to go chill by the pool. So maybe he'll stay out there and enjoy the summer evening. So who knows what will happen with that. Probably not. Probably he's just waiting to hear me shouting at the computer, and then he's going to come scampering up to his favorite playroom. But I mean, he was very sleepy this afternoon, so you know, we'll just have to wait and see. So before we do that, just want to quickly remind everyone that next week is book club, and what that means is that we will be discussing this book during the shows. So if you are interested in The Lighthouse Keeper's Daughter by Hazel Gaynor, you'll want to make sure you have read it by next Thursday, because we will be discussing it. There will be spoilers, and if you don't want to be spoiled, then, you know, read it before then. Now, I do have this icon that I will be putting up when we are discussing the book, and I will try not to. Hi, sir. Okay, well, yeah, he's back, and he just tried to climb up my sock, so that was painful. All right. So anyways, I will have this icon that I can put up during the show. And I try not to give any instructions while we're discussing the book, so that, you know, you can just mute while the book is being discussed. But just so you know, so you have an opportunity, you can read this before September 29th. All right. And then the October book, and again, this will be discussed on the last Thursday of October. The October book is The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. All right. So I've now got a tiny cat in my lap. Not tiny cat, but a tiny cat. Not the tiny cat, but a tiny cat. All right, come here, tiny cat. Whoa! There you go. So, Marcel is back. Man, he just knows. He knows when it's paper cutting time, right? All right. Hey, bud. He's going to climb on my back now, and then he's going to bite the microphone. So we've got the whole routine down. We've got the whole routine down. Hello, buddy. Oh. Hey, Marcel. There he is, trying to go up on the shoulder. Decided not to. Oh, are you too sleepy? Are you too sleepy? Are you just going to sleep on the desk? Is that it? You're going to sleep on the desk again? You're going to bite the microphone cable? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right. Rubbing our face on the tool bag now. It's his tool bag now, everyone. His tool bag now. Okay. All right. Yes, cute little buddy. Hi, cute little buddy. Oh, he just rubbed his cheek on you guys. He just rubbed his little cheek. He did it again. I don't know what that sounds like from your point of view, but hopefully it's not too loud. So, but that's it. You've been cheek rubbed by Marcel. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Marcel. We got work to do, bud. So, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna try our best. Okay. Okay, sweet baby. Sweet baby. Are you so sleepy, honey? Those vaccines are kicking your little hiney, huh? If this is your first time on the show with Marcel, just know he's not usually this nice. Or, well, maybe he's always nice, but he's not usually this calm. Okay. All right. So, with this one, you know, we've got to make a little scene here, and then we've got a photo on the back. We can do another scene of some kind. Hey, bud. You gonna say hi to your friends? Yeah. Aw, he wants to sit on my lap. Ma, he must be so sweetie, because he's not a lap cat. You gonna go back to your little spot? Okay. What are you doing, hon? Huh? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Okay. All right, so let's think about what kind of a little scene we might want to make. So let's start with the larger embellishments that we don't always get the opportunity to use. All right, so we have used this house. And we have used some of the cats and pets and things. We do have a little bit more space here if we wanted to do our cat. Because the cat would stick out, but like not so much. So that's certainly a possibility. There you go. What do you need? Do you need a little toy? Here. Whoop. Okay. So we've got we also have this lantern if we want to go a different direction. So we have the lantern. So we've got the cat on a sled. We've got the lantern. We also have the little kid cards, but we can use these on the inside. I do like the lantern quite a bit. Marcel's distressing the edges for us. We also have the truck with the Christmas tree that we haven't really had a chance to use. And then we have the Christmas dinner. So if we were to do something with the lantern, you know, we'd want to use a scrap where there was something kind of going on like right around here. So let's take a look at, at the scraps and see what we've got that would look good with this lantern. All right. Welcome back, Munchkin. I guess we could do the Merry Christmas from Santa like this. There we go. All right. So we need to cut a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 piece of the paper. Hi, Marcel. All right, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'll come back and we will start putting this together. All right. Okay. So hello, Marcel. How are you, friend? How are you? Yeah. The answer is Marcel's still kind of sleepy. Still kind of a sleepy kitty. Okay. All right, now. All right, let's cut this. Oh, he's going into the trash. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Oh, Marcel, you got to watch out. Okay. No, those are scissors. You can't. Here. That's what you want. There we go. All right. How long do you think this behavior is going to last? How long do you think this is going to be the most interesting room of the house? Do you think it's going to go in phases like the other cats? Because, you know, sometimes we don't see them for weeks at a time. He must be feeling better because he's going into the trash again. Going into the trash. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Marcel's a big fan of reuse. He thinks all trash can be reused as cat toys. All trash can be cat toy. Is he wrong? No. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. The cats kind of sleep wherever they want. Marcel, I think, has slept in our bed twice. If he's going to sleep in a bed, he'll sleep in, he's more likely to sleep with Liz and Damien. However, he's more likely to sleep in a cat tree. He likes to be up. He's a lot like Kitty in that way. In fact, it's so, he and Kitty are so similar. It's so funny. But yeah, he likes to be up, much like Kitty likes to be up. They're tree cats, you know, more than they're bush cats. And so he likes to be in cat trees, really. And then Kitty, she likes to be up as well. But she'll also sleep on a person, and she will very often lie. She likes to lie next to a person, and she likes her head to be able to touch their skin. So like she'll come up on my chair and she'll sit next to me and stare at me until I move my blanket off one of my legs so that it shows one of my legs. And then as soon as she can see my leg, she'll lay down and put her head on the leg. So I don't know what that, you know, specifically what that is, but that's what she likes. And then Tiny Cat likes to be in a nest of some kind. She likes to be, so like she'll come and stand by me on the chair sometimes, like she did it last night actually. And she'll stare at me until I open my legs so that the blanket drapes in between my legs, and then she'll sit in between my legs because it makes a little nest for her. So that's what she prefers. And she and Kitty can both be in the chair at the same time because Kitty can be on the outside of one leg and Tiny Cat can be in between both legs, and they have done that. And sometimes even they're nice to each other. Like one time Tiny Cat draped her legs so that it was near Kitty, and Kitty licked it for her, and Tiny Cat didn't even try to do anything about it. So you know, that's pretty impressive. But oh, hello, sir. You hear something interesting up here? We got our supervisor back, everyone. Now, it used to be around 10:30 on Thursdays, the cats would come up here, both Kitty and Tiny. Now it's more like Tiny and Marcel, and what'll happen is Tiny will sit on the landing of the stairs, but she won't come all the way up into the office if Marcel is in the office. And she messes with him, you know, like she'll sit in such a way on the stairs where he's afraid to walk past her. She's going through a phase where she's taunting him. And they're just going to have to work it out, you know. It's not, you know, it's not beyond what's acceptable for cat interactions. So, and I'm glad they're working it out because Tiny Cat was just running away from Marcel, and that was causing all kinds of problems because then he was chasing her because he loves to play tag, and Kitty will play tag with him. But Tiny Cat was running away because she wanted to avoid him. She wasn't ready to deal with him yet. So that was, you know, that was a problem. So they're working through that. Oop! Ooh! Uh-oh. So I guess the answer is they can sleep wherever they want. They don't really have a designated sleeping area. Hey, sir. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get a scrap to put on the back of this to, you know, stiffen it up and all that. Hey, what you doing? You on the floor? You being a floor cat? Are you a cute little floor cat? Is that you? Yeah? Oh, he's climbing the curtains now. If you hear a ripping, tearing sound, that's him climbing the curtains. Climbing the curtains. Sandra's been partying with the Stamperia people. She's been partying. Partying, partying. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cut this out. Now, Marcel gets along with other cats really well, so he'd be perfectly happy to have Kitty and Tiny be his best friendos. And he's definitely made progress with Kitty. Okay, so we're getting there, getting there. All right, so if that shows, it's going to show as, you know, woodsy. And doing with these little fiddly things, you know, with these leaves, this was a bad choice to have hang over the edge, but we're almost done. We're almost through the woods. Oh my gosh. Ugh, a bug. Marcel, did you bring this bug up here? Or is it the bananas on the counter downstairs? Was it you or the bananas, Marcel? It is so pretty, so it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. All right, we got through it. It's really, really gorgeous. All right, now. Okay. So we are gonna we're going to ink the rest of the card, as well as, you know, re-ink the edges. Okay. All right. And then tape. Ah, we're running low on 1/4 inch tape. 1/4 inch tape, running low. Okay. So now that we've made this little block, you need to think about if you want to do a Halloween project. Halloween. What, and if we do a Halloween project, can we do something quicker and easier than that thing we made last year? Was it last year? When did we make that folder thing? When did we make that folder thing? Marcel's hanging out in his little tunnel. Excitement. Excitement. He's in his little crinkle tunnel. So Marcel has shown that he's really into tunnels, and I do have a tunnel in my office so the cats can get behind the curtain and look out the window if they want. And he hasn't spent much time in it, which is pretty... Oh, he just heard a paper scrap fall into the recycling bin, so... If you hear something that sounds like rustling, that's Marcel. All right, look how beautiful that looks. Love it. And then there's the little spray around the edges. Okay. The Quattro whatever. Yeah. What the heck was that? Last year until February. See, I thought so. Well, I'm talking about this project, which is another holiday YouTube playlist. So if you're watching this playlist, how does it even open? I don't even remember. Oh, here it is. It's on it's on the side. Wow. That's okay. So the way it works is it opens into this, like, it's technically a rectangle, but all the sides are different sizes. But it opens into this display so that you can display 4 sides of it at once. But it's, or it opens all the way out to this big book. So this is what we did last year. Yeah, we would just have to do something simpler than this because that took too long. That took too long. This is a Kathy paper. It's linked in the video description. This is Dreaming of Sugar Plums. And I have used both the 12 by 12 and the 8.5 by 11 versions of it in this project. Okay. All right. So now we need something to go here to be, you know, to set off the lantern. And I'm just gonna flip through the papers. I printed a bunch more because it does, this album does take quite a bit of paper, quite a bit. All right, so set that there and take a look. I'm sorry, are you helping? I don't think it's going very well. He's just, he's like, is this a good one? Is this a good paper? I don't know. Wow, this paper has to die, got everyone. Glitter gang, this paper has failed inspection. hates this paper. So we're not going to use this one. He's very disappointed. He's very disappointed that we even thought about using this paper. He's out. He's like, I can't even with you. I can't even with you. Okay. So not this paper, clearly. Let's put this one back in the stack. The supervisor has had it. The supervisor has had it. Okay. So this one, I think if we like took this chunk, I think that could be really beautiful. So that's certainly an option. I mean, I hate to cut right out of the center of a piece, but that's an option. The other option is to take Santa, you know, because the lantern might look really cool layered over the Santa. So that's another option. So what do you think? Santa or clock? Santa or clock? Santa or clock. All right, and then while you're deciding Santa or clock, just put which one you like best in the chat. I'm just going to cut some paper for the back. And the back needs 7 1/4 by 9 3/4. 7 1/4 by 9 3/4. All right. And what I'm going to do is, oh, I also have this lantern, but we already did a lantern. I mean, there's already a lantern on the page. So I don't think we need another lantern. So Santa or clock. All right. All right, so while you're deciding Santa or clock, I am going to cut this paper. That didn't work the way I was hoping. Okay, new plan. I'm going to use this on the back of the piece. All right, but big. All right, so the thing I could do is cut this out. So well, let's do that instead. So it needs to be 7 1/4. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out these strips. Marcel is now fighting the crinkle tunnel. He's actually biting it. So all right. Now, right now we have a pretty much equal number of clocks and Santas, so I think we may end up flipping a coin. But yeah, this is one of those things where you start doing it, you think it's a good idea, and then partway through you're like, why am I doing this? Okay, then once we've got the drips cut out, okay, then what we can do, and my blade's a little dull, so I've got some areas that I'm gonna have to free a little bit. Okay, so once this is cut out, now what I can do is I can cut this to the size that I need, which is 9 3/4. All right. So that straight across line at the top, that's where these need to get glued down. All right, so the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to put the 3/4 inch tape along the top. And I'm going to do 2 lines of it. And then we'll ink, and then we'll glue the drips. Okay, so. And then just to make this a little bit easier, I'm gonna ink the drips this way, just to make it a little bit easier. Just. Rather than try and get in between each little nook and cranny. All right, so there we go. Okay, now I'm going to line that I cut into the top. I'm going to line that up with the line on my mat. And then we can line this up. And then we'll have a piece of paper that's the right size with the drips. Oops, I forgot to glue these. So let's not, I'll just fold it back where I cut it earlier and messed up the cutting. All right, there we go. Perfectly sized. Welcome, Aussie Mom, Aussie Slot Mom. Welcome. Welcome to the Aussies. Okay, now we've got a piece of paper that's going to fit on the back. So I'm just going to tape it all the way around the edges, and then we'll ink it and stick it down. Inking it, sticking it down, inking and sticking it down. And then I'm going to put the tape also on those two cracks from where I cut the paper and then stuck it back together, just so that they don't come apart at the seams there. Marcel is sleeping in his tunnel. Oh, what a cutie. Okay. All right, so now we just need to stick this to the piece, and this is going to go on the back. Oops, I didn't ink the edges. All right, we got that. All right, so now we've finally been able to use this glitter paper and keep its design of the drips. All right, so now for the front, we're going to flip a coin, and we are going to flip heads for clock and tails for Santa. So, hey Google, flip a coin. Heads. It's the clock. All right. Solved by Google. Oh, clock won. Well, clock won then. So, clock won both times. Clock won the coin toss and the vote. We'll use Santa on the next one because we have one more of these large pieces to do. All right, so I'm going to cut the piece out, and it needs to be 6 1/4 by 8 7/8. So that's what we're aiming for. right, and just so I can get this exactly how I want it, I'm going to take a paper scrap and I'm going to cut a piece, a hole in it that's 6 1/4 by 8 7/8. I'm just going to cut an inch off the bottom of this so it'll fit in my trimmer. I cut a little too aggressively there, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Okay, so this is going to make a window that I can use to frame the clock exactly right. Okay. So the hole in this, the aperture, is 6 1/4 by 8 7/8, so that's the size that the final piece needs to be. So what we can do is kind of place it exactly where we want it. So I know kind of where to cut. I think this, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to lightly trace the inside. Oop. And this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a guideline for you to get it kind of just in the general direction. All right, so now that I have my guideline, I'm going to take this over to the trimmer and cut it. All right. Oh, it's not 8 7/8, it's 8 5/8. I have to just cut, I just have to cut a little scooch off it. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right, so that's going to go there, and then that's going to go there. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so ink, then stick it down. All right. I seem to have lost my 1/4 inch tape. So I'm just going to get a new one because I was running out on that anyway. And then when it when it shows up, I'll finish it off. And then I saw it. So okay. Did Marcel eat it? Marcel doesn't eat things that aren't chicken hearts. All right, so, hey buddy, you sleepy? You waking up? He's like, don't talk to me, I'm busy. Okay. All right, so that's the front. And so now we just need to, you know, finish it off on the inside. And on this one, I'm thinking this might be a place for a couple cats. So yeah, let's get some cats in here. Okay, and then we need one scrap to go all the way across and then 2 squares to fill in. And this is close enough to the right size. I'm just gonna do it. All right, so this is, okay, 2 7/8 by 4 1/4 is what we need. Okay, so we'll put that there, and that there, and that there, and that there. And then we just need a strip to go all the way across. And all the way across is 7 1/4, and I think it's 1 inch actually, 1 inch by 7 1/4. So let's just use the gold again. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So 7 1/4. All right. So we'll ink these 3 sheets, and then we've got to cut out these kitties and ink them. And then that'll finish off this because we've done the front and the back. cat number 1, which is kind of a Marcel looking cat. And then cat number 2, which looks like no cats in the house, but my sister will just have to get another cat. I'll send her a picture and let her know. All right. I think it's cute that even though Marcel is sleepy, he still wants to hang out here with the glitter gang instead of going to his cat tree to nap. Well, so one thing that they've said is that they would leave Kitty at least with me and probably Tiny Cat. I think the final homes of the cats would be determined by, like, I know when Stormy was our 3rd cat, the plan was that they would take Stormy if and when they got their own place and leave Kitty and Tiny Cat with us. Now, I think how the cats would get distributed might now depend on which cats get along with each other. So, like, for example, it does seem like we could keep Kitty and Marcel together. So maybe Kitty and Marcel could go with them and Tiny Cat would stay with me because she doesn't really care about any other cats. You know, there's, and Tiny Cat doesn't like to be, she's the one who does the least well on her, like, alone, you know, for long periods of time, like, you know, so I don't know, who knows, whatever, like, I may end up with 8 cats. The way we're going, I'm going to end up with more cats, not fewer cats. So, so who knows? But I think that it's highly unlikely that I will end up with no cats at this point. So, you know, now, like, which cats I end up with, that could, who knows? Who knows? Tiny Cat would be elated to be an only cat. Elated. She would love it. She would love it. Now, Marcel would hate being an only cat. He would hate it. And Kitty, I think she could go either way at this point. Like, she doesn't like Tiny Cat, but, you know, she and Marcel get along just fine. Bye, Marcel. Well, I'm still allergic to cats, and in fact, I actually have hives on my face right now from Marcel rubbing his face on my mouth during this afternoon's show. And my eyes are always red and puffy. Always. So I'm, you know, my cat allergy did not go away. Now, have I gotten more used to the dander, particularly Tiny and Kitty's dander? Yes. Tiny and Kitty do not irritate me anywhere near the same level that they used to. And I'm sure Marcel and I, after, you know, 6 weeks or 2 months, will be fine. But yeah, it was, when I went to Seattle for the wedding, the thing that was amazing was how clear my sinuses were and how not itchy my eyes were from just not being around the cats for a week. So they do still cause me problems. I take a Zyrtec every night. So, you know, that helps a lot. Zyrtec is great. And then if something happens where like I'm having a bigger reaction than usual, I can always take a Benadryl, and I probably will take a Benadryl after the show because I do have hives right now. But I didn't want to take a Benadryl before the show because then I'd be like during the show. Because I know some people take Benadryl and they get more energy, but I take Benadryl and I get sleepy, so. All right, this roll is out. So anyway, someone needs to come out with, I have heard there's a cat food that you can feed cats that suppresses the protein that most people are allergic to in their saliva. So it's like allergy cat food, but it's for human allergies. But I wonder if that is an actual thing or if it's just wishful thinking on everyone's part. So. Have these claims been evaluated by anyone? That's my question. All right. And there was all right, put that there. They have that food at Chewy. But yeah, you do get kind of used to your specific cats. And I've had far fewer, you know, problems each year. Ella's investigating the food now. She's going to give us the scoop. All right. So that book is done. Beautiful. All right. So we've got this done. And this. So these two are ready to go in their pocket. We just have one more now to do, which is the middle one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recording break just so that the middle one, because we're about an hour in, and we'll do the middle one, and then if we have time left over, we'll do the closure for the third file folder. So if you're watching live, just hang tight. Nothing's going to change for you. If you're watching in the archives, just click ahead to the next video. And if you're watching this in the YouTube playlist, the next video is either there or it'll be there in a day or two. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.